a new study proving a scientific way to lower your blood sugar, and we're going to talk about it in this video along with a new challenge. Hey, what's shaking bacon? My name is Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing well. So a bit of an update with me with my health, recovery after my open heart surgery. As lots of you know, I turned to carnivore after my first heart attack, and I got strict with it, about 3.5 years ago. So there is still a lot of damage done with those bad years. And one issue I've still had, which is a contributor to heart disease, is high fasting insulin. Now, most people, when they go on a carnivore diet, their fasting insulin lowers, and it lowers dramatically, and that allows healing to happen, and your body starts healing from within. So going on a low or zero carb diet will make that achievable for the vast majority of people. And some of those other people, like myself, even though I've lost 165 pounds, I still have high fasting insulin, and it's still preventing me from losing my last, I'd say probably about 60 to 80 pounds. If I lost another 80 pounds, I'd be a satisfied guy. I'd be floating around 225 or 35 pounds. I'm almost 6'2", and proportionally that's an okay weight, assuming I have good lean mass. And your lean mass isn't just your muscle mass. It's also your bone density. It's also your organs. So for most people, a low carb or zero carb diet works great, but it's not really sustainable for a lot of people. If you're doing, like, say, a keto diet and you deal with sugar and carbohydrate addiction. So this is where carnivore comes in, because it gets rid of that sugar and carbohydrate addiction, and that's something I had to deal with. So carnivore is easy when you're super strict with it, but it is work if you're mostly doing it and you're dealing with a sugar and carbohydrate addiction. So I had to learn that lesson the hard way over years before I eventually became strict. But like I said, I still deal with high fasting insulin. I've done exercising, I've done walking through the day, I've done weight training, I've done lots of things, but typically I have a sedentary lifestyle. So in my last video, I discussed doing this new challenge, and it's based off of the study that came out very recently in the last couple months of 2024. You can go on PubMed and try and find this study, and I'll maybe try and find a way to put it in a link in this video or some future videos. And this is how it works. It's simple. It's an easy exercise routine. And so right off the bat, as soon as you say exercise routine, people go, I don't got time or anything like that. This is something anyone can do. Anyone can fit this in through the day. You may have to tweak it a little bit depending on your schedule, but it's as simple as this. For an 8.5 hour window, this study found out if you do 10 squats every 45 minutes, you get drastically better results from lowering your blood sugar, which will lower your fasting insulin, which will allow you to start losing weight and get a healthier body. Even if you don't lose the weight, the healthier body starts coming first, believe it or not. Losing weight is a side effect of your healthy body doing its thing. So it's not the other way around like most people think. You lose weight and your body gets healthier. No, your body's getting healthier, and the side effect is you're losing weight. Every 45 minutes, you do 10 body weight squats. Simple as that. For 8.5 hours. That's what the study was based on. So this is a challenge I'm giving my viewers that I'm going to be doing myself. And I thought, you know what? I've had other challenges I've done and people have joined in, and let's see how this goes. So I'm going to do a membership for YouTube. I'm going to start up a membership so that people can join and, one, help support the channel, and two, they can join this channel and we can have a network of people, and we'll have some extra videos for those people, because I want to make sure people are doing their squats properly. There's lots of different ways to do squats, but I prefer doing squats from the glutes, not the legs. So you can do both. It's probably good to mix it up throughout the day. I'm going to show you the technique on how you can properly do that. Now, you can also just look on YouTube, to tell you the truth, and find out which way to do your squat. I want you to keep in mind, doing this challenge is the added bonus. It's the extra little bit you might need to lower your fasting insulin and your blood sugar. So your blood is storing sugar. Your muscles are storing glycogen, your liver is storing glycogen. Your body wants to use that glycogen up. And even though I'm a big guy, and even if I work out, I don't really get great results with weight loss because I have a sedentary lifestyle. It's just the nature of my work. I'm a massage therapist. I'm either standing or sitting. It's not physically demanding for me. But walking, after a while, your body adapts to it really easily. So instead of just 10 bodyweight squats every 45 minutes for an 8.5 hour window, you can always go further with that if you want to. So we're going to start with the first month being 10 squats every 45 minutes. The next month, it'll be a tweaked version of that. It might be more squats every 45 minutes. It might be a longer window. I'm going to do a census to see what most people want. You can always do your own version of this too, don't forget. But this is going to be something that's good for those people who are still trying to lose those last 10 or 20 pounds, or they're trying to lose the last 80 pounds like myself, or you're already losing weight and you just want to make sure you're keeping up your lean mass. So this is all around good to do. So because you're doing a low carb or carnivore diet, right off the bat, you're going to prevent blood sugar spikes, which is going to prevent insulin spikes. So for the vast majority of people, they're in a great spot just going low carb. But some people need that extra bit of help. And I'm one of those people. So I've done a strict carnivore diet, not a lick, taste, or bite of anything off a carnivore diet, and I still deal with that fasting insulin issue. So which means my blood sugar is managed and regulated. Since I started carnivore, it's been perfect. A1C, perfect, but high fasting insulin. And that shows there's a serious problem. My blood sugar is always good, but that's because my insulin's working overtime to make that happen. So we have to do something, I have to do something to manage that better. And I don't think 1 month is going to be enough. I'm going to do this for at least a 3-month window. And each month it's going to get more and more intense. Now, I'm not talking about intensity like treating it like a workout, because you're not trying to treat this like a workout. It's 10 squats. That's it. You're not trying to build muscle mass. You're not trying to improve your cardiovascular health, but you have to keep in mind the body quickly adapts. Within a week or 2 at the most, your body's going to adapt to this, and every set of squats you do isn't going to be as much of a challenge. Now, you're not really trying to challenge yourself to kind of push the limits like you normally would with a workout, but I want to make sure your body's still using that energy. So I'm going to tweak it. So every 2 weeks, we're going to add 1 squat to the mix. So after 2 full weeks of doing 10 squats every 45 minutes, for that window of time, we're going to be doing 11 squats every 45 minutes for that window of time, 8.5 hours. If you decide you want to do more than 8.5 hours, and you decide from the minute you get up to the minute you're going to bed, you're going to do squats every 45 minutes, that's fine, because that's 120 squats spread out through the day. So if I know I have a busy day at the end of the day, and I look at my schedule and I think, you know what, I don't think that's going to be enough time in between my sessions to stick to my schedule, I'm going to do my 8.5 hours earlier in the day. If I see I have a busy morning and I know I'm going to have a more flexible afternoon, then I'm going to start my 8.5 hours in the middle of the day or at the end of the morning when I know I can accomplish this. So I can try and stick to that schedule as much as possible. So if you have a job where you stand, or you work at a desk, or you're on an assembly line of any kind, you can usually pop out 10 squats in your little windows of time you get. So you might have to be flexible on the time, but try and stick to that 45-minute window. So the nice thing about the membership is it's a great way for you to help support the channel. And by channel, I mean me. I have had some people offer over the last number of months, they've offered how they can support the channel. They're like, just let me know how I can do this. And I think this is a good start where we can try and figure this out, and you're getting something in return. I started a Facebook group a long time ago. I had 1,000 people join that group within a month. So I want to see if we can sort of do the same thing with a squat challenge. I don't think we're going to get 1,000 people joining this challenge. My channel is pretty small, but this is one of those things you can encourage friends and family to do. I think a month is going to be just enough time to start to notice the difference. So I don't want someone to do this for a month and then go, I didn't really notice anything, because it might take a month before your clothes get a little bit looser. If you can, get your fasting insulin tested throughout this, or your blood sugar tested throughout this. It's tough to get your fasting insulin checked because most doctors, they just don't want to test it. So you might have to push for that. But I can tell you this, if you're still dealing with that extra 20 pounds you're trying to lose, or that extra 100 pounds you're trying to lose, a big part of that problem is high fasting insulin. So let's try and manage that. There can be other issues in the game. I understand that. Usually the high fasting insulin is the gatekeeper. So we're going to try and do this, and I'm going to do it for at least 3 months. And each month is going to progressively be a little bit bigger and a little bit different. As an example, month 2 or 3, we might be doing jump squats instead of regular squats. I'll probably save that till month 3, but I'm going to try and make it that it's still going to be engaging for people, but not too difficult, because I don't want people getting sweaty in the middle of their workday. I don't want people getting out of breath. So this is a manageable challenge, because 10 squats is just enough to start making you go, and then you think to yourself, oh, I'm done. And you're not going to build up a sweat. It's going to be easy for you to go back to your job. So I think this is a very manageable challenge. So it's a squat challenge on top of a strict 0-carb diet. So if you're having difficulty with your carnivore diet, I want you to just keep this in mind. if you're having difficulty sticking to a strict carnivore diet, and that's really what your goal is, you don't have to, but that's what your goal is. Just remember, if you're having difficulty with that, you're working uphill and then you're going down. You stray from the carnivore diet and now it's becoming an uphill battle. And then you do your squats and it's lowering it. So maybe for some of you who don't want to stick to a strict zero carb diet, this might be the counterbalance for you. Anyway, I hope I get your support and you support this challenge. I'd really appreciate it if you join and become a member. I'm going to try and have that set up before the beginning of the month, but at the latest, I'll have it set up for the 1st. So I have my next video coming out Monday. But this is a very doable challenge for almost anybody out there. And that's why I think this is a great way for us to go. Anyway, thanks a lot. I hope this video helps you and I hope you join. Take care.